As we continue during this time of mourning the Bais Hamikdash and yearning for the return of the Shekhinah, I would like to share with you a thought that was inspired by a story that took place with one of my Talmidos many years ago, but was strong enough to leave an impression on me that I remember to this day. This story inspired me to understand a bracha in Shemona Esrei. The bracha is Retzei. And it is very peculiar because there's a rule that all brachas need to start and conclude with the same concept. And the Bracha of Retzei, when we start off asking, Retzei, we ask Hashem to want, as Amcha Yisrael Ulas Tfilos, to want their tfilos, the tfilos of Hashem's nation. But the conclusion of that bracha is about bringing back the Shekhinah, Machzir Shekhinosei L'tziyoi. They are not the same concept directly, and therefore it doesn't match the rule. Furthermore, we've already asked in the bracha of Shema Kuleinu that Hashem should hear our tefillos and should be mekabel our tefillos and answer them. In which case, what are we asking now when we say Retzei? That Hashem should want those tefillos. What's the difference? Before we get to the story, I want to share with you a concept. The concept is, how do you motivate people, and particularly children? It's important to know what motivates them in order to help them to be able to succeed and to overcome challenges. With children, often what they want is the approval of the adults that they are in their lives. You find this with both children and with students. Oftentimes we give them a prize, some concrete object or goal in order to show them and motivate them. But the truth is they're not motivated by the prize, they're really motivated by the approval of the adults. So this story really brings out this point. The story took place a number of years ago, and there was a teacher who would motivate her students, even though I believe that at that point in time they were in the 5th grade. She motivated them by giving them a chocolate chip. They would work for a period of time, sometimes, and depending on the student, it was for a day or a week, and she would give them a chocolate chip. The amazing thing is it worked. How is it that it worked? Because again, they didn't want the chocolate chip, they want the approval of the teacher, and the way it's given in a concrete fashion, and that was the chocolate chip. Oftentimes it's a grade or a prize or something along those lines. With this teacher, it was a chocolate chip. The story that brings that out very clearly was one time there was a girl who was taking the chocolate chips, but was then giving them out to her friends. And the teacher was concerned why the student was doing that, but didn't want to approach her directly. So she asked me if I would speak to her, and I had a good relationship with her, so I was happy to do so. So I called the young lady to my office, and I asked her, how's it going? How are you enjoying school? How is it going with your teacher? And everything she applied positively. And then I asked her, how is it with, does she like the prizes that the teacher offers and the chocolate chip? And the student said yes. And I asked her that I heard that she gives the chocolate chips away to her friends. So why does she do that? So the student said, well, sheepishly, she shrugged her shoulders and said, well, I don't really like chocolate. So I give it to my friends who like it. So I asked her, so why does she take it? And why does it motivate her? And she said an amazing line. And she said the following line. She said, because my teacher gave it to me. Indeed, she was motivated by the approval and the recognition she received from the teacher, even though she didn't like the prize itself. Oftentimes, adults give prizes that are very big, and we think that we incentivize our children more. But the truth is that takes away their motivation. Because if they become focused on the prize, they lose their internal motivation. Many studies have been conducted that have proven that that is the way to demotivate children, by giving them prizes for things that they would have done otherwise. But once you give them a prize, they learn to do it for the prize. The trick is to be able to give them a recognition and approval in a concrete form, but one that doesn't take away from the real motivation that the child has. And that's the relationship, the approval of the adult in their life. So that's the meaning of this bracha. What we want and we ask Hashem for is we want Hashem to be merutza with us. We want Hashem to bring us back, to want to hear our tefillas, to have a relationship with us. The way that we'll see that, the concrete prize, is going to be the Bais Hamikdash, and it'll be greater. But the one thing that we want is we want Hashem to be merutza with us. We have the Bais Hamikdash, we had the Shechina, but once we lost the relationship, so then the Shechina had to leave. What we want is the relationship with Hashem, and that's the bracha. We ask Hashem, Retzei, want your nation as Amcha, your nation and Tfilosim and the Tfilos. How will we see that? Because we'll get the Shechina back. But it's not the Shechina in Zion that we want Hashem back. We want Hashem to be merutza with us. And we want the Shechina and the Bais Hamikdash because Hashem is giving it to us. May we be zoiche to see these days turn from yogoin to simcha, from mourning to rejoicing, when Hashem will bring back the Shechina. But the reason that we look forward to that is because then Hashem will be merutza once again with Amcha Yisrael Ulas Vilosai.